Hello everyone, Boltsauce here once again with a deck review, and I have deleted all the previous deck reviews that I did since there were like a million updates or DLCs. But yeah, this is the first one, or the first of the new series that I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna start with Scandinavia and basically do all blue for, and then later go over to red for and just do that. And yeah, so mechanized, really good decks or really good deck types. I can just play mechanized on all kind of decks except for the Danish. The Danish don't really have a strong unit except for the automatics and iHawks now. But I really hope that the EOT's Hawk does get some fixes, but we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, let's start with the logistics. Logistics, not really much to say about except for, well yeah, how I basically build it. I usually just select the fob, select the supply heli, then select the supply vehicle, and this is my favorite in this deck. It has the Bofors L70, a 40mm cannon, and it has more back and top armor than the tank that I previously had, so that's a really good unit. You can also go for the Centurion if you want some more front armor, but actually that might be a better idea, but against infantry you really want that 40mm. But yeah, that's basically what I do, and I also choose a infantry command, and preferably in a helicopter. So there you have it. Why infantry command? Someone asked, or is asking right now. I like to use infantry commands in a command zone that has a lot of buildings in it. If the enemy tries to bomb it, I can just building hop away, and it's harder to recon or spot them with recon. So yeah, there you have it. Infantry is where mechanized really shines, and it's not all about the transports. In this particular deck, it's actually about the initial airborne attack, and people won't really think that I will do this with a mechanized deck, so it catches them off guard really just a lot. But yeah, if you want the infantry that can just handle its own and kill like 4 T80 UMs in like 5 seconds, go for the Kustjäger 90s. They have their 120mm high explosive AT rockets, and this is just, or heat rockets, I don't know if is that high explosive anti-tank, yeah, high explosive anti-tank rockets, and this is just amazing. It's the AT-12T, I believe. So yeah, 25 AP on that, basically more AP than any other front armor that there is. Rate of fire is 20, so yeah, a T80 or T90 from the front, it would take them about, what, like 10 seconds to kill, I guess? It would take like 3 or 4 shots from the front to kill. So these guys are not to be messed with, and they can also just wreck light transports in like no time as well with that 20 rounds per minute. They carry 12 of those, so they can take down a lot of heavy tanks, and probably one-shot heavy tanks from the side or in the back. But yeah, they also have the AKS or AK5, and the M58B, the SAW, that is, so they can really deal a lot of damage to infantry. It's basically like the Commandosi with a better RPG. But yeah, so that's the Kustjäger that I would use if the enemy uses a lot of heavy tanks, but my initial combo would probably consist out of these guys, the Fallschirmjäger 90 and the Fallschirmjäger. And why did I go for both of them? Well, because this guy has an RX, the Fallschirmjäger 90, and the normal Fallschirmjäger has the Carl Gustav M2, which is, you know, for lighter stuff. And if the enemy uses a lot of light transports, I would probably go for Fallschirmjäger and the Kustjäger 90. If the enemy uses a few heavy transports and, you know, medium amount of light or medium units, I would probably go for a combination of these two guys. But yeah, it's just to test them all out, and the Kustjäger 90 is just really amazing. But these guys in a combo is just really great as well. And they are all 50-man squads, so really good. But oh, and another thing, the Kustjäger 90 is actually 40 points, plus the 20 is 60, and the Fallschirmjäger is 30 plus 15 is 45, so that's 15-point price difference, and that can amount to a lot if you use all of these guys. But yeah, that's it for the initial airborne attack that I would usually do, followed up by a mechanized assault, which consists out of Panzerskitte 90s, or Panzerskite, I don't know what you say. I just call them Panzerskitte. But yeah, they come in the STRF 9040. Really amazing cannons. 60% accuracy on that with a 40mm. So yeah, I have 28 of those guys on hardened, and they will probably just wreck anything in their way, including some light tanks with that 40 mil. It has 3 AP actually and 1 HE. But yeah, I think when the Scandinavian DLC 1 came out, they had like 3 AP on these things, or 2. I don't remember that. But yeah. So that's for the heavy mechanized assault, followed up by the shock infantry, the stormers here in their M113s, and this is basically, these guys will basically come in action after the SCRF 9040 clean up and cover, provide covering fire, and yeah, these guys will probably be used as a backup. And if that fails, I always have some reserve government. They have the MG3 and the AG3, and this is basically the Scandinavian equivalent of the Jaegers from West Germany, and they basically have the same stats, I believe. I'm gonna check that right now. Like MG3, AG3, and M72 Law. Just gonna check that real quick, just to show you guys what I mean. So if we go for the Jaegers, they actually have the Panzerfaust 44, so that's pretty much the only difference, and the HKG3. But the MG3 and the battle rifle are about the same. So strength is 10 man, regular training, but they have a better... Is it a better RPG actually? Let's check. 60% and 16 AP. As for the government, it is 30% and 13 AP. So that's like almost twice as better. But yeah, pretty much everything else is the same except for the battle rifle and the RPG then. But these guys are 10 or 5 points cheaper, so really nice infantry units there. But yeah, if you want to go for a slightly better RPG, you could go for the M72A4 Law, but I don't really think it's worth the price. But yeah, it's a reserve unit anyway. As for anti-vehicle and anti-heli, I have the RBS 56 with that 26 AP. Nothing else I need to say about that. And the RBS 90 with the 2800 meters on helis, 55% accuracy, and 2240 meters on airplanes. These guys do need a lot of hits though, since they only have 4 high explosive power, so they would probably need like 3 shots on an airplane to kill it. But I bet if you hit it twice, it would probably be stunned or probably rout. But yeah, so that's the majority of my deck basically. The rest is just standard units, but I will go through them anyway. The support section, 2 really interesting AA pieces, and I think they're probably going to change both of them. This EOTS Hawk or EOTS Hawk is non-radar, which I don't really understand. I have no idea if this is actually non-radar in real life. It was made in '92. It is a prototype, but I don't know. Like the iHawk is radar, EOTS Hawk is non-radar. It has 10% more accuracy, but it also costs 15 points more. So if this is actually non-radar, I think it should be more expensive, like 100 points. I know it sounds a bit extreme, but I mean, non-radar, just plop like 5 of these at your front line. They will just wreck everything. You don't have to worry about turning off the radar. If seed comes in, you'll just blow up that seed plane anyway. But yeah, I have 4 of those on hardened. If they are actually going to make these radar, I will probably hop back to the NOAAs. They pretty much have the same stats, but yeah, 5 points cheaper. But yeah, the NOAA is... Let's say the EOTS Hawk becomes radar, I would go for the NOAA because it's 5 points cheaper with the same exact stats. But yeah, we will see that in a hotfix. And the automatic, really amazing unit. It just wrecks tanks, infantry, and airplanes. 12 AP on that, so it can pretty much just wreck anything. And it also just destroys infantry if you fire this. It's basically like using a ship cannon on land. That's basically what it is. Almost 3k range on helicopters and airplanes. I think they should change that. They should make it like 2700 meters range on airplanes and keep the range on helicopters like this, and lower the range on the ground to about 1800 or something, because people have been using these on the front line and they just wreck absolutely everything. I mean, I know it has a big cannon, but for the price it is not really realistic. they should probably buff the price to 85 if these are the stats that they're gonna keep. Don't get me wrong, I love this unit, I love to use it. It just, if you micro it well, it can just destroy everything. It only takes like 4 shots for it to kill an airplane, so yeah, really good unit there. I have 5 of these guys on trained, and you don't really need to put them on veteran or hardened anyway. They have 55% accuracy. So that's it for the AA. For the long range precision artillery, I have the M109s, and these guys are basically, well, the equivalent of the paladins, if you ask me. 54% and 5460 meters dispersion, so really good tight spread on that. 7 HE, so 2 shot pretty much any command, or 1 shot it if you hit it close. Suppression really high, so it will also deal a lot of damage to infantry and towns. The range is really good, and the rate of fire is 4 rounds per minute, and it goes pretty fast on road, and actually quite decent off road, and has 2 front armor and 1 anywhere else. So it will be able to survive some medium artillery shells nearby, but it won't really survive a heavy artillery shell on the head. But yeah, and as for mortars, I have the AMOS, really good twin barrel mortar pieces, 120 millimeter on that, 5 HE power, 9 rounds per minute, and really tight spread. It's like the tiniest little circle that you can see on the map. Really fast on and off road. It's actually amphibious as well, so pretty much my favorite mortar unit. But if I compare this to other vehicles that are 50 points, or other mortar pieces that are 50 points, they should definitely put up the price a bit to like 75 or something. Because if we go to a different deck, actually we can just stay in that same deck. If we go into other mortar pieces, let's go for let's see. Yeah, let's go for this one. Where is it? Oh, it's not even a mortar piece. Excuse me. Here, the NM106. It's only 10 points more than this, but it has more HE, better range, tighter spread, more rounds per... Actually, I guess it's more rounds per minute because it has that twin barrel, so that it would be 18. Don't get me wrong, it might not be. But it is also amphibious, like the previous one. It has more armor and all of that, so combined, if you combine all of those facts on the AMOS, it should be way more than just 10% or 10 points more than the normal mortars that we get. So I think this should be like 60 or something. That would be pretty fair. But yeah, no one listens to me, right? So, the tank section. Some older tanks. I have 16 of these SCRV-103Cs. Really good units. 55% accuracy, 15 AP, or 15 rounds per minute, and 16 AP. Really good ambush tank. And 13 front armor. But if you want something heavier, go for the STRV-103D, and you can see that it has like some more side armor as well as some more front armor. So a really nice tank here. It has 60% accuracy, 17 AP, and 15 rounds per minute. And on top of that, it is small, so really hard to hit, and it has 15 front armor. So that is one incredible piece of tank right here. Yeah, if you have 2 or 3 of these and the enemy rolls up a T-72 BU, if it moves into range, you would just blow it up in like no time. It only takes like 10 shots to kill, and with 2 or 3 of these, it won't even take like 10 seconds. But yeah, amazing tank there. Recon, basically my basic loadout, a land-based recon. I have the Bofors L70 cannon on the EPVB 90. Really good recon unit there. I have a Cayuse as a airborne, just a little bird with very good optics, and the ground-based infantry, or recon, which is this Fallschirmjäger 90 squad on the ground. And yeah, some told me go for the Panzer build. It's really amazing against infantry. I know, it is really good, but it has good optics versus very good optics, and not a lot of armor. But yeah, otherwise it's a really good unit. The Panzer build just wrecks infantry with that 21 rounds per minute, if it hits. Vehicle section. I have ATGMs, the NM142. You might also go for the Lard Tow 2. It is a bit cheaper, but this guy has 2 more ATGMs and a bit more armor, and is amphibious, so really cool unit to have. And I don't use a lot of land-based ATGMs anyway, like 2 or 3 in the entire game. And I also have some IKV 105 tank destroyers. These guys have 16 AP, only cost 35 points. You really feel that in the armor, so make sure you use these guys only to ambush from the sides, or from the front if you have light tanks, but from the sides if you have heavy tanks. 8 rounds per minute, and it's also amphibious, so really really cool to make some amphibious landings with these things. So definitely try that out. In the helicopter section, I have the new Danish ATGM helicopter, with the Phoenix TOW 2 with the TOW 2 missiles, 25 AP on that, 70% accuracy, basically like a Hellfire, but slightly less range on AP. So really cool unit to have right there. Size is very small of that heli as well, so that's a plus. In the plane section, I went for Napalm to basically cover, like block roads so I can push up my ground forces, and really important to have that in your mechanized stacks if you don't have really fast transports. Most of my transports only go 110 kilometers per hour, so you really need something to hold off the enemy and make them slow down, and so you can move up. So I have 4 of these Napalmers, and as for HE, I have the F-16A Fighting Falcons with the 2 1-ton bombs. They also come with 2 Sidewinders and 20mm Vulcan, so really good unit there. Plus they have 20% ECM. You could also go for some other bombers, I guess, like the Block 5. But I like the 2 heavy bombs instead of the 12 lighter bombs. But everything else is pretty much the same. Sidewinder, Vulcan, ECM. Yep, everything is basically the same, except for the loadout. Someone told me to use the SK60B, and I went for it. I have not used it yet. And yeah, really good unit actually. I've seen people use it really well. It's basically like a guided bomb that you can just fire position somewhere. It will most of the time hit. 3k range on that. Dispersion is just 0, so it will basically hit wherever you target. 10 HE, so it's basically like an artillery shell that you can actually guide to its place. So really good unit, and it actually has 2 of them. But these planes you will probably lose if you use them. 0% ECM. They do have 10% strength and a turn radius of 300 meters, so they can evac really quick. Plus they have 600 kilometers per hour, so they will probably be at 2 kilometers range of the area that you fire at when you are evacing. Like, so yeah, because of that slow speed. But yeah, I have not tried it out yet, so that I don't have a lot of things to say about it. So I've not really. Yeah, it's just an experimental unit that I'm gonna try out. As for seed, I have the new Puffs. They come with 2 seed missiles, 4,200 meters range, 50% accuracy, 20 AP. They have 30% ECM and are very good air detection. And they also come with 2 Sidewinders and that twin M39A2 cannon. But yeah, pretty good seed plane actually, really cheap, 70 points. You can get 4 rookie or 2 hardened. But I went for the 2 hardened since, well yeah, you get the extra bonus of course, 16% accuracy, so that would give it like 7% more accuracy, so 57% accuracy I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it doesn't add up like 50 plus 16. It's not 56%. The 16% is a percentage of that 50%, which adds up on top of the 50%. So it's 50 times 1.16. So really important to know that when you do these things. So you might as well go for 4 rookie, but I don't know. I just like the extra bonus you get, like the 200% faster morale recovery, or 10% more chance to see and identify enemy units and all that good stuff. And the stun effect duration is really important as well. You don't want your plane to just circle back towards the enemy AA once you're stunned. You just want that to last like 5 seconds and then evac. So 2 ardent of those, and I have 2 trained F-16AMs. Initially I didn't have the SK60B. I had 1 elite F-16AM and 2 elite F-16A Block 15s. That was a really good combination. But since I went for the SK60B, I went for 2 of these guys because they have a better ECM, exceptional air detection, and more MRAM missiles than the F-16 Block 15s. So yeah, you might as well go for 1 elite if you are going to play in a 4v4. But I also build my decks so that I can use them in 1v1. So 2 planes are definitely a minimum for me. But yeah, the naval tab, not really much I can say about. I usually go for Lafayette, well, a Congo, 3 Lafayettes or 2 Hatsuyukis. This time I really didn't pay attention to it, but if I were to actually build this seriously, I would probably go for some Chamseries. 8 of those to, actually I would probably go for 7. I really don't need a lot of that. 7 to defend against ASMs. Then I would go for some Tram Intruders. Actually, I would probably go for some Super Hornets. They do have better ECM, but they go way faster. I'm actually going to go for the Tram Intruders. And why, you ask? Because they go slow. And if they fire their missiles, they can just turn away and, you know, evac straight away before they even get into range of those ships. And not to forget the supply ships, which would be the LCU. So yeah, that's basically my balanced naval tab, but knowing that people usually go for just ASM planes every time and they just ruin the entire naval perspective of this game, I usually just fill it up with ASM planes as well. So yeah, but it's a shame that people that really don't use Navy, because it can turn out to be a really fun game. So that's it for the Scandinavian mechanized deck. The code is in the description, so go make sure you try that out. And tell me what you want to see next. I might actually do my Scandinavian airborne deck later. Really good deck that I have here. A really nice plane section. Infantry is just amazing again. So yeah, just tell me whatever you want to see next. Or yeah. If you liked it, do all the good stuff down below. Like, subscribe, comment. Check out the deck link in the description. And if you're having problems with that, remove the brackets, like this symbol here. Remove that symbol. And if that doesn't work, copy it, put it in a notepad or a Word document, remove that symbol again, and then copy it from that Word document and import it in Wargame, just by pasting it right here. So yeah, that should work. If that doesn't, just let me know down below and I'll try to help you out. Anyway, that was it. Do all the good stuff, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys back in the next one.